O'Neill, 2 L's. I serve the SGC under a General Hammond.
We're explorers. You see, we're from another planet.
The unstable vortex of a forming wormhole. Kawoosh.
Indeed.
Hello everybody, welcome back to a new episode of the Kawoosh podcast. I am your host Arne and I'm joined as always by my co-hosts.
You said that as if you're like tired of me. Do you want to...
We still have 8 more seasons to go, so...
On that note, is anybody like willing to come and substitute for me? Because apparently, you know, I get boring after a while.
That is not what I was saying, but we are here and we're in season 2 of Stargate SG-1. It is episode 5 and it is titled Need.
Yeah, I didn't really like this one.
I liked the idea of it, but the execution is terrible.
Yeah.
So what is it about? Well, we open up on a planet and there's some Jaffa opening a Stargate and SG-1 is spying on them from above. And the people below are transporting Naquadah through the gate.
Question number 1 already. If that's the Stargate they came through, but it's a Stargate that's regularly used, how did they not... Like that, it's not
Pure
a quiet
chance.
thing.
Pure
It goes
chance.
kawoosh and
Yeah.
everything.
But also for this reason, they are most of the time they are outside of villages. They're not like near villages.
Yeah, but...
So otherwise you would be entering into something, and most of the time it's a field or a woods or...
I mean, yes, but train stations are a thing, so I don't know.
Yeah,
I just felt it was convenient. And I got really excited because I thought, oh, it's a Goa'uld episode, and it's not.
No, specifically, actually. So after the Jaffa and the people put the Naquadah through the Stargate, they follow them to a mine. And there is a mothership parked right above it, which is a very, very nice matte painting.
It is. Even though that is not how you mine. But we'll come back to that later.
Yeah, it is just an opening in the rock and people go in and out of it. It is...
I wrote down, this is not how you mine so many times, but we'll come back to that.
It's very rudimentary, like, this is a mine. See?
This is how 5-year-olds mime that they're in a mine.
Daniel sees someone walking in a gold robe through the forest, and he follows
a gold
her.
or a Goa'uld?
Gold, not
Okay.
a Goa'uld. Yeah. Well, it is. Anyway.
Are you gonna be like this the entire episode, Evie?
Yeah. And the rest follows him. And the woman, because of course it is a woman, walks to the edge of a cliff and prepares to jump. But Daniel rushes in and grabs her.
I literally wrote down, writer challenge, give Daniel a connection with a character that isn't a woman. And that was before I remembered the episode, because it gets steadily worse. I don't... is there like a massive sex appeal to this man that I'm just not seeing? Like, why do they keep doing that to Daniel?
I have no idea.
I don't see it.
Because you don't need it for what's going to follow. You could easily make up any other reason for him to end up in the sarcophagus.
Any time that he has a connection with anybody outside of the team, it's always a woman. And it just starts to annoy me, and we're only in season 2. Which is a major reason why I didn't like... oh crap, I forgot her name.
Shari?
Black hair, witty as fuck.
Claudia Black as... I am blanking on the character name, yeah.
Oh, come on! Look it up.
I'm gonna look it up. Claudia Black. Vala.
That's... You know, this whole thing with Daniel in so many seasons is the main reason why when Vala came aboard, I was like, ugh, not again. And that character had to work before I finally started to like her. And it's not her fault because she's so funny and witty and well written.
But the
Daniel
first
has this...
episode she appears is pretty bare bones. It's only when she reappears in season 9 and she becomes a regular that she really shines.
But even then, it took me a while to get over the here's yet another woman for Daniel thing. Which
I'm
is
afraid
like,
it
why?
will happen.
Why?
One of his exes will become a Goa'uld.
Which one?
We'll get there, but now that you mention it, it is a pattern.
Like even in the 90s, it already annoyed me. But and now I just watch it again and I'm like, what? It just...
Anyway, let's move on from that because there's more.
It doesn't get better.
So yeah, some Jaffa hear her scream and they rush to her aid, and it all ends up in a big standoff with the Jaffa surrounding them, and then the SG-1 surrounding the Jaffa, and then the princess tells them to lower their weapons. And
How do they surround each other? How does that work? Can you explain that
it's-
to me?
Is the Jaffa rush in, and then SG-1 rushes in, and
Well, yeah, I
like,
can understand standoff, but surrounding each other.
anyway, Jack begrudgingly does so, and we cut to credits. Then, after we come back from the opening, SG-1 gets led inside the pyramid ship before the ruler and the woman who got saved by Daniel. And the ruler says they attacked his daughter. He also wants to know where they are from, so Jack tells them they're from Earth, but he doesn't believe them, and he sends them all to the mine. The daughter, meanwhile, keeps looking wistfully at Daniel. And that annoyed me more. Like, she does, at this point, she does not intervene. She says nothing.
She's very.
Like, we were waiting for the plot to really kick into action, and it just...
Yeah, it's a very two-dimensional character.
Yeah. In the mine, Sam tells
Oh,
them...
no. You skipped over the very gross part where he couldn't stop petting Sam. Like, what was
The
that?
ruler?
Yeah, the ruler was all like petting Sam, and I'm like, why? Why are we doing this? And then it turned out that we needed them to touch for Sam's symbiote residue to feel something. But at the moment, I was like, why are you petting Sam? Can you stop?
That's probably why I didn't write it down, because it annoyed me as well. And
Oh, no, I do the opposite. I write down what annoys me.
well, that's why you're here.
To annoy you?
No, to counter what I'm telling. So yeah, that is absolutely true, and I didn't clock it, and it was probably a forced means for the symbiont, because that's a thing that's gonna reappear, that the symbiont has special powers.
True, but there's less creepy ways for someone to make sure that Sam and him touch.
Yeah, he can just come close.
Yeah.
Like, it's...
Well, he could have touched all of them creepily. I mean,
Yeah.
I would have preferred that, actually.
So yeah, that's the
Like,
reason why when they're in the mine, Sam will tell them that she doesn't think the ruler is a Gwauld, and that the Jaffa aren't real Jaffa. She also says that she can feel it when she's near a Gwauld. See, I wrote down near, so he didn't need to touch her creepily.
Also, because she makes a point of saying that I can feel Teal'c's.
Yeah,
And then he goes like, huh?
Tilk also agrees that the ruler is human.
Yeah. This is the first time I wrote down that isn't how you mine.
So, yeah.
Like, and I almost feel like Christopher Judge asked somebody, how am I supposed to use this hammer efficiently? And they're like, just try to be cool, because he's trying.
But it's like they had one cave set, because we barely see anything else of the
Even
mine.
then, let them haul rocks. That's a very important point of mining. Like,
You cut down the rock, you load it in a cart, and you move it away. That's what mining is.
No, everybody had a hammer. Even the guys outside who were hitting the ground. Everybody had a hammer.
Yeah. In the evening, all the miners are brought together, and for some reason the guards take the shackles off, so Jack immediately kills the guard and runs for it. But Daniel, of course, lags behind, and when he gets shot, shots are being fired, and he gets buried in the rubble.
Which I forgot my tally, but Daniel almost dies.
Yeah, and then they get captured again.
Yes.
Because he lagged behind. Yeah, he's rubbish.
I mean,
He's rubbish in escaping. But yeah, that was such a
it was
weird
clunky
scene.
though, because I can totally understand Jack being like, let's make a run for it, but nobody else was on board because there was no agreement on any plan.
If you need to eat, you don't need your feet to be freed. And they already had their hands free, and they were holding hammers, as you were saying, so they had weapons. Like, this whole setup is so convoluted.
We're gonna have to stopping at everything that doesn't make sense, or we're never gonna get through this.
So, meanwhile, the princess has told the truth to her father, and he fears that this will jeopardize the planet, and he also says that the Naquadah is growing scarce.
We'll never come back to that ever again. It's not important.
It is the setup of the whole thing, or at least it's an explanation on why they're there and why they're doing what they're doing, but they will not follow up on this because this has consequences and they do not go into that because so they're human and they're keeping up appearances. So we have humans enslaving other humans just to keep up appearances. Who chooses who gets to be a minor and who gets
Oh, that's
to
very
be...
easy. He's not a minor, and his daughter is not a minor, and everybody else is apparently a minor.
And how do you become a fake Jaffa? Because apparently that's a higher status than a minor. Like this whole society is in itself interesting and
But there's
problematic,
there's
but you're
no
not going
thought
into
behind
this.
it because, like, he makes a point of saying that his daughter is next in line. Like everything hinges on her. Then why were you trying to jump off a cliff? Like, this whole planet depends on me. Then why were you throwing yourself off a cliff?
Because the pressure probably was getting too much, but
No,
we
later-
don't get into that.
No, later she says she was waiting for her true love and she was giving
Right.
up hope. But then I was like, well, maybe stop putting everybody in mines. Like maybe he's in there. Like, I don't know.
That
And
was stupid.
I have more questions. I'm on a roll now. It turns out that the guy is like 700 years old,
Yeah.
right? But
Yeah.
his daughter isn't. That means that the wife probably also wasn't 700 years old, but she isn't around anymore, which gives
But
me...
doesn't she go into the...
No. Well, I just have thoughts about the mother because they make a point later on. Like, I'm jumping ahead a bit, I'm sorry. But he's 700 years old because he uses the sarcophagus. But the mother isn't around anymore. Well, like, no sarcophagus for her. Was she not allowed in there? What happened to her? Is she just conveniently gone?
I
Meanwhile-
presumed that the daughter went in into the sarcophagus
They literally
also.
make a point of saying, because Daniel, like, turns to her and goes like, does that mean you're, like, implicating, like, are you 700 years old? And she says, no, I haven't had to use it yet to prolong my life.
Oh, so they go in there at a certain point when they're
She
getting
probably
older.
maybe was in there when injured or something, but not to prolong
Yeah.
life yet.
Okay.
So why is the mother not there? Why did he wait 700 years to make an heir? Are there other heirs? Like, there's just no... It's a very flat world building. There's no thought. Because, oh, we need to put all our people in the mine, but we wear new costumes every day with expensive jewelry. Like, your money system is not like... And you can make a point of that, but then you have to lean into the bad rulers, which
Yeah.
they didn't do.
Yeah, that's exactly my main problem with this, because you can make this work if you point out that this is all just a way to be a tyrant.
You have a sarcophagus and you're using it to prolong your life instead of putting, like, you pick 5 people, right, that will willingly work in that mine and then willingly go into the sarcophagus for you. Like, you just say, you work 9 to 5 for me and you can live forever. People will take that deal. Like,
There's also the thing that they do all this to keep up appearances, and as long as they keep the naquita flowing, they won't come and see what's going on. Then why do you need this whole slavery setup? You can just have people work in the mines, put it through the Stargate, and as long as you keep doing that, nobody will show up.
yeah, but he is a tyrant, but they didn't lean into it.
Exactly. So they really needed to do that, because otherwise this doesn't make any sense.
And that's why I had questions about the mother, because she gives this whole sob story about, my mother used to tell me that my great big love would come from another planet. If you're living in a contained society, why is the mother filling your head with a savior from off planets? What? Like,
It's just because
I
it needed
feel-
to be Daniel.
Yeah, but no, I feel like there was either more to this and they couldn't get it in, or it was, like you say, like, we just need all the convenient tropes to get this girl to be like, Daniel is the one. And either way, I'm
They
pissed.
had this clever idea with the sarcophagus, and then they just, I don't know, maybe they needed a quick writing job, or they didn't have time to go into it. I don't know.
Point of this all is they have a sarcophagus. Big shocker. And they
Yeah.
put Daniel in it because Daniel got almost killed in the...
Because
the-
that's what happens next. The princess goes to another room after she talks to her father, and there's a sarcophagus there. It slides out of
Wherever.
It's a really nice big set. Like, they have really good sets in this one, because it slides out of there, it opens up, it's all moving, and it reveals Daniel. And she tells him that he was badly wounded. His friends have been recaptured, but he's all better now. And I think it's here that we learn that her name is Shaya. And she has taken personal responsibility for him, So she asks him not to escape again, and she gives him royal clothing and his glasses, although they're cracked. Yeah, they make a point of that. So in the mine, the others are working and they're shackled. And Shia, meanwhile, shows Daniel around, and she seems amazed by trees, is what I wrote down. She walks him through the forest, and she's
like,
talking about how
isn't our
amazing
world
it is.
amazing?
Yeah.
Look at this. We call them trees. Like, girl, what?
It's Canada. There's lots of trees.
There's...
it again, very clunky writing.
Yeah, it could have worked if you made a point of saying, oh, the outside worlds are all dangerous and barren, and we're the only one who has, like,
yeah, but
this
they
whole...
don't go off planet, and they don't have enough sets to really build a society, so they
Yeah.
walk around in the forest, and it really lessens the impact of what she's trying to do, because
It
if you
just-
would be able to show a big city and it's all working and everybody's happy, then
that's-
this would be really attractive. But it's
No.
just a forest.
But I felt like, but then maybe I was giving it way too much credit. I felt like the society was like, oh no, you can't go off planet because the gold are out there. Stay
Yeah.
here. Everything out there is barren and empty and ugly, and we have trees. Like, I don't know. Like, they really upsold. Like,
But what you're saying
Yeah.
is, I think that's what it is. Like, they don't go off planet because that's where the gold are. But this whole scene just makes her seem so stupid.
well, she is stupid. She tried to jump off a cliff. I mean,
Yeah.
just because she couldn't find the love of her life.
This could have been a really interesting character.
Yeah.
Because there is a lot of pressure on her to take over, to make sure that the people are kept safe. But problem is, we don't see the people. We only see the slaves in the mines. So
Yes.
who are the people?
Yeah, I don't.
So
yeah.
this whole thing could have been really interesting. They just don't go where it needs to go. They don't lean into it. Anyway, Daniel wants to go talk to her father, but she says he's not well now, but she believes Daniel is her destiny, a great man from beyond the stars who would come to save her, and he seems annoyed by it at first. Well,
Not annoyed.
seems.
No.
They
No.
don't really go into that, but yeah. Daniel goes into the mines to pay a visit to the others, and he fills them in on the sarcophagus and that the princess has a crush on him. And Jack, of course, asks, can you get us out? But Daniel tells him not yet because it's a sensitive situation, and the others are obviously very annoyed by this, since they
Yeah.
are literal slaves and he can get a feast in his honor. This scene is way too short.
It's way too short because it makes Daniel come over as very insensitive.
Yeah.
And even
And at
with
this
Daniel,
point,
yeah,
it shouldn't be yet.
not yet. I mean, we are used to Daniel being, I'm sure it's fine, but this is too much.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's gonna be fine. Like, they're
He
literally
could have
working
at least
themselves.
showed a little bit of empathy at this point, like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I
Or-
can't,
Or
but
if the sarcophagus is already influencing him,
then it's not obvious.
then it's
yet.
not obvious. That obvious. That's not how you pronounce that word. Yeah. But I do like that Jack says, surprisingly difficult to kill you. And I wrote down, Jack, you have no idea. Like, this is...
Yeah, that evening in the big room, the table is set, and King Pyrrhus, that's apparently his name, joins them at the table. And Shira tells Daniel that the king might tell him how he became the God Slayer, and that this was 700 years ago, and he's using the sarcophagus to prolong his life. And he keeps people working in the mine to keep the gold away. It's all an act, and he's scared to be found out. So pretty much what we all already talked about. Daniel asks about his friends, and Pyrrhus says to kill them. Like, he comes across as he's suffering from dementia, because he doesn't really know what he's saying or doing or what he decided, because she
but again,
she talks to him and immediately convinces him to not do it.
Yeah, she's like, oh no, you said something else, remember? And he's like, yeah I did. And this could have worked by
Yeah.
making him a tyrant with amnesia, and then she just cleverly works around it. But again, we only have this one instance.
Yeah, it's way too short.
Yeah.
Because, the sarcophagus has effects, and he's declining, even though his life is prolonged. So this is all really interesting if you would lean into this and work the material, because there's something there.
Also, what really aggravated me at this point is, like, she keeps flirting with him, and at no point does he go, I'm actually married. Like, at a certain point, you have to be upfront about certain things, Daniel.
Or if he's trying to play her to free his friends, you could make him play it up or lean into it, but again,
But
he
would that-
doesn't. He's strangely passive in the whole thing.
Yeah, but I don't think that's his fault, because I wrote down a little
it's-
later
it's
that
writing.
Michael is really killing it with the acting when he has stuff to do, when he has stuff to work
But
with.
it is the writing. The writing is
Yeah.
the problem here.
Yeah.
Um,
Because at a certain point, he's standing in that mine and he's being very over the top and like forgetful almost and very blasé. And I wrote down like he's killing it here. Like this is really good.
So yeah, after the dinner, Daniel asks the woman, Shira, to free his friends. And she kisses him, but he is not playing along. So she convinces him to get back into the sarcophagus because he will feel better afterward. This is like these things were beats that were implying that she at least knows what it is to go in there.
Yeah, definitely. Because later on, when she lets him go, she makes a point. She mentions that she's like one part of her blah 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 blah. Like one part is if I let him go and he comes back, then it'll be his choice. But also she knows that he will come back because he's addicted to the sarcophagus at that point.
Yeah.
Which again could have worked between her having to choose between being a good ruler or her dad. But again, they're not doing it.
Yeah. We briefly cut back to the SGC where we see that Harriman is back.
We cheered. We're like, yay!
Well, we needed something good in this episode. They get a call from Daniel through the gate, and he's telling them that he needs more time to solve the situation. And that's basically it. It was very short, and we don't get... I was like, did he already inform them before? Is this his first call or is it the second call?
It has to be the second call because they have to check in like every 24 hours.
Yeah, but the way it was
yeah.
written and acted was a bit confusing.
Yeah.
Like the way that the others reacted, like Hammond, how he reacted, like you would think that he would put a little bit more pressure on it or something. Like yeah. Anyway, Daniel goes into the mine. And apparently it's been days since he saw the others. And he tells them that he's been doing research on the sarcophagus and he's been talking to Shira. He's also very happy because he doesn't need his glasses anymore and he's starting to act like an addict. He feels euphorious and he says that Shira wants to marry him. And then when Jack tries to talk back, Daniel gets angry and he walks off.
They mentioned the dark side, which was nice.
Yeah. And this is actually, like you said, one of the moments that is really like
Yeah.
the acting is what actually makes us see, okay, this is an addiction
Yeah.
narrative that they're trying to sell us. And,
Yeah.
and it's the acting that really sells it. Anyway, in the pyramid, Daniel asks Shira how her father is doing, and she says that the sarcophagus doesn't have the same effect on him anymore, and soon she might have to take his place as queen. And Daniel thinks that might be better because they will have more control over the Naquadah export, which was dwindling, but okay. In the mine, Sam has visions of Jolinar, and she jolts awake and she yells out, "We don't use the sarcophagus." And she explains that according to the Tok'ra, it changes you. So they need to stop Daniel. Like, yeah, that was already pretty obvious, but okay.
But I do like these snippets of Tok'ra lore. I do
Yeah,
like it.
yeah, that was actually like we start to see that she can access certain memories and stuff. So that's a cool idea. They bring Jack before Daniel, who is sitting on the throne, and the Jaffa push him to his knees. Like they really go for the whole thing.
I forgot to mention, like, there's points in the episode that you have the guards standing at the entrance. I don't know which guard started with crossing the spears, but they do it here too, and it's like such a cliche. Like, it's not something that is very logical to do, but it looks cool. So they always do it.
It is, yeah, I think it's very tropey from
Yeah.
the medieval films.
It just...
Yeah. The Jaffa push Jack to his knees, and he tries to tell Daniel that the sarcophagus might lead to the dark side. So apparently it's...
Oh,
here
I
they
jumped
say,
ahead, I'm
"No, it's
sorry."
fine." Daniel says not to worry, he will marry Shyla tomorrow because she loves him. And Shyla is bringing her father to the sarcophagus, as he tells her he doesn't trust Daniel. But she says that he can't live without her anymore and it will be okay. Daniel will return to her.
I wrote down, that's called entrapment through addiction, girly. Like, that's not a good thing. Because they're going back off planet. Daniel convinced them that he has to go back first before he can get married.
Yeah, that's the next scene. So next day, the others... so we just jump to the scene that they've been freed and they're in front. Then they're led to the Stargate. Daniel kisses Shyla before he leaves and he tells her he will be back soon. And
I wrote down, Daniel, you are married. I mean, I'm not saying you can't have an agreement, but I'm pretty sure you don't.
it's like we get that he's addicted and that he's changed, but it's a bit... he goes far. Like at this point, does he really? And it's not like he's playing her or he's not playing it like he's playing her. And in a few episodes, we will come back to Share. This is something that gets resolved in this season. So it's not like they forgot about her.
And it's like, I don't... Well, if you jump into this, and this is the first episode you see, like, a little while after this, Sam will finally say, what about your wife? Like, people are going to be so confused. Like, wait, this dude's married?
Yeah. At the SGC, the team walks out of the gate and Hammond is waiting for them. So Jack gives him a short briefing as he walks by, and Sam brought some naquadah for trade.
How? How did you smuggle... Like, I don't know much about enslavement in mines, but they do check your pockets. Like, I'm very, very sure they check your pockets when you're a slave in the mines.
I think she brought it as a token of goodwill. That they gave it to her, scared that they were going to attack
But they weren't
or
allowed to
something.
shower.
I don't know.
And-
It's a messy episode. So while Sam is checking that, Daniel begins to become nervous. He wants to go back, and she reminds him that he has a wife already, as you said. Sam theorizes that the naquadah made him like an addict, and that it is possibly even influencing the Goa'uld throughout the years. So nice idea. So using all this technology is what made him evil or something. It's a nugget I don't remember they ever bring back.
No, but I do like the scene between Daniel and Sam. But all the while I was wondering, why isn't he in quarantine?
Because they know he's addicted, so he
Yeah.
should at least be in the med bay or something.
He should be, or there should be a soldier shadowing him. Like, this is weird. You know he's gonna show withdrawal symptoms any seconds.
Yeah. So Daniel gets angry, and Sam immediately goes to Hammond to get him confined. So at least she's thinking straight. And when she goes to Hammond to try to convince him that Daniel needs to be confined, Daniel enters, and he has his resignation because he wants to go back to the planet. But before he can do something, he crashes and he just collapses right there and then. So they bring him to the med bay, and they find that he's going through some major withdrawal, and his body is breaking down. Teal'c at this point very helpfully mentions that the sarcophagus might heal him. Thank you, Teal'c.
I don't know.
But Sam says that is not an option, because according to the Tok'ra, that will change him. Yes, we know this already. Thank you again. They need to wait. So this confused me a little bit, because you're saying that his body is actively breaking down, but waiting will solve it.
I think they wanted to say cold turkey without saying cold turkey. Like, he had to kick off. We say kick off, but that's not how you say it in English.
But we're getting it.
Get off the
This
drugs.
is like the third episode in a row where, like, near the end of the episode, they return to Earth and the story still continues, but they rush it.
Yeah.
And I have the same feeling here that this ending is very rushed. Because the beginning of the story takes a while to get going, and now they're rushing to get to their 40 minutes. Jack goes to the doctor, and she tells him that all vitals are dropping back to normal and that he might be getting better. But when she goes in for a check, Daniel grabs her and breaks loose. He attacks a guard violently.
And again, if you're in withdrawal, they tape you to the dang bed. Like, this is just so convenient.
He wasn't restrained, but it was...
No, that's not restrained. Like, have you seen patients that are going through withdrawal? That's the 5-point, like, how did Chelsea explain it?
Yeah,
it's
the
like,
5-point strapping down.
Yeah. There were no 5 points.
Yeah. Anyway, Jack sees what's going on the monitor, so he rushes out after Daniel. The alarm goes off, and they go. So Daniel runs into one of the storerooms where Jack goes after him.
Which I yelled at the TV at this point, like he's literally in a storage room. He's not going anywhere. Keep the door closed and wait for backup. Don't just go in there.
Yeah.
It's a storage room. There's so much stuff that he can whack you in the head with.
But
Why?
that's what they wanted. They wanted an action scene. It gets physical, they start fighting, and Daniel manages to grab Jack's gun and point it at him.
And
then,
I get that that's what they wanted. They wanted this moment of, Daniel, what are you doing? And Daniel to have that moment of like, oh no, what am I doing? But it is so clunky.
Mm-hmm. So Jack tries to talk him down, and he tells him that he knows what he's going through. So yeah, Jack has a lot of experience.
Jack has he's that guy. He's done it all. He's been to jail.
Yeah.
He's been enslaved in mines now. Like it's.
Yeah. And then eventually Daniel breaks down sobbing, and Jack embraces him. Another day, they are going over the potential worlds to go to. They're in the control room with the nice map, the glass map with all the light points.
It's a nice
and then Daniel enters and proposes they go back to the world to free the slaves down there. They can offer Shyla an alternative, so she will be able to free the people. And pretty much straight after that, we cut to the pyramid, and Shyla is standing over the sarcophagus as Daniel enters. Yeah, it's all very dramatic, and she says she didn't think he'd return. Her father, meanwhile, has died, and she asks if he ever loved her, and he tells her he wouldn't be there if he didn't care. Nice moment, but...
Which is a nice segue,
yeah.
but...
He tells her not to use the device anymore, and they can help her. She doesn't need to go through it alone. And she is immediately convinced because she grabs a staff weapon and fires it on the sarcophagus, and Daniel hugs her, and we fade to black.
Which, at a point, he apologizes to her, and I'm like, why are you apologizing? She entrapped you. Also, like...
This ending is so rushed.
It's so rushed. There's no resolution society-wise that we see.
Yeah, that's the first thing I wrote. Well, like, I wrote down, so... what about the slaves?
They're still slaving.
So they say that they might have solutions, but...
And let's be honest, if the girl wanted change, she could have already implemented change around her forgetful father at a certain point in time.
There was at no point did we see her, because he's suffering from dementia. She could have, like you said, manipulated him or ruled differently behind his back, because he's in the sarcophagus for most of the time.
Yeah.
So she could have practically changed the society without him even knowing it, making us see that she's trying to enact change, but she doesn't. At no point does she actively do something that would change anything.
And even if she would have, I would have, like, the fact that the first thing we see her do is, like, just to give up on everything, even though the story keeps trying to tell her that she's the best hope for that society. Like, it was very surface level. I didn't really like this one.
The idea that the sarcophagus is addictive and it changes you, that works. But the story around it that they constructed is so clunky, so forced. It forgets that Daniel has a wife, and it doesn't go into the implications.
And also, I don't think, like, even forgetting all of that, I'm not sure if I like a whole, the sarcophagus makes you evil, therefore the Goa'uld are evil because they keep using it. And I was like, it's still, like, it's a very personal choice to keep doing bad things.
Yeah.
Like, you can't just say, like, but then you say they don't really, it really doesn't come up again. I don't think
it comes back again.
Okay.
We'll see. But I don't remember it coming back.
But this does mean that this is episode 5. We still haven't seen any gold.
No, the first one. But,
Yeah, okay, but that
apart
was-
from that, yeah, we saw briefly an action scene where Jolinar takes control of Sam, and I think that might be the only point we see Jaffa, or real Jaffa.
Yeah, no, I'm just wondering.
But I do think they realize they can't keep pushing the Gould as an enemy, so they need to pick their moments.
Yeah.
I think, and that works the best. Like, there's a big universe, and you make it bigger by showing us different things. So that's so far what I like. They're all very different stories, so they're at least trying some new stuff. And they will bring back the Gould. Like I said, they will bring back Sharae to follow up on some of the serialized storytelling. But I like these separate episodes, at least for what they are. Like, not all of them work. The last 3 weren't really good.
No. But hey, maybe the next one is... What's the next one?
What's the next one? Okay, I need to start preparing for you
I
asking me
always
the
ask
next
you
one.
what's the
That's
next
true,
one. And you
true.
go like, what? Questions?
Surprise. And the next one is... Oh, the next one is Thor's Chariot.
Is that the one where we go back to the planet of Thor?
Yeah.
Where they
No,
left?
not the planet, the one where they find Thor's hammer with the Unas.
Yeah, that's the one I meant.
I know, but it's not Thor's planet.
No, okay, yes, but...
But yeah, they go back there, and and this is what I really like. We're gonna see what happened after they destroyed the weapon that was protecting the village. Which
Repercussions.
It's a good point. They just left it there. So and I can see by the picture that there's gonna be at least a Jaffa in there.
One Jaffa.
I don't think we need to go further into the episode and what we thought of it. I think it was pretty clear.
I think we said it all during...
Yeah. So, if people were so too inclined to follow me online, I am Arne Köstermans on Instagram, and I'm Iredonian on TikTok, on YouTube, and am I on anything else? Yeah, on Blue Sky. I'm Iredonian on Blue Sky.
you don't really do anything on Blue Sky. You repost what I post, and that's all you do on Blue Sky.
I do post stuff from the Wayland Files, if I have some. It's been a while. But we're coming up. We're going to start, hopefully soon, publishing our campaign, and we're going to record a new episode this weekend. So we're busy. We're doing stuff. Anyway, if people want to follow this amazing writer on the internet.
Oh boy, I am Evie Belknap on Instagram, on TikTok, on Threads, on Blue Sky. I think that's it.
All right. And then we'll see you all next week, where we go back to the planet of Thor's hammer in Thor's chariots for this time.
I mean, they couldn't call it Thor's hammer. It doesn't work anymore,
Yeah,
supposedly.
Exactly. So that's what we're gonna talk about next week. We'll see you then. Bye.